Thanks for joining Black Gay Table Talk.
I'm Dorian.
And I'm Kenan. Join us as we take you on a journey of discussion from two Black gay male perspectives. You'll join us on various life, social, and cultural discussions that are just as versatile as you'd like them to be. Get ready for authentic, heartfelt, raunchy, thought-provoking, and relatable shows that will make you happy to have us join you as a part of your podcast family. Again, thanks for joining Black Gay Table Talk.
Let's get to talking.
Thanks for joining Black Gay Table Talk. I'm one of your hosts, Kenan.
And I'm Dorian.
And for today's episode, we're
talking about little boys growing up playing with toys that are considered for girls.
Ooh, okay. All right. So, boys playing with girl toys. Let's get to talking. All right.
I recently ran upon something that I saw on TV, and that brought up the topic today just to have dialogue about it. A little boy wanted to play with a doll.
Mm-hmm.
And
a doll, okay.
How the family, his parents were, if that's what he wants, let him have it. It's not a problem. But then you have some other family members who they have their opinion on it, and it's not favorable.
Mm.
I'm not a parent, but I can tell you, if I did have a child and my son wanted to play with a jump rope or wanted a Barbie doll, that's not the end of the world. It's a child, and I look at all toys as being non-gender.
Got it.
I don't think that aunts and grandmothers and all them should have their input. If you're not the immediate parent or guardian, then let it be, And I just wanted to have a conversation today about, where do you feel? What do you think? What are your thoughts?
That's okay. So let's get in it, right? So I grew up, I played with girls' toys. Like, I did play with girls' toys. I would actually have like hair appointments for my cousins' Barbie dolls. They would have hair appointments with me. I wonder if my cousin, I'm sure one of my cousins remembers, but they would have their hair appointment. I would come over and spend the night in my grandmother's house. And they would be lined up ready to come in, and I would style their hair, and my cousins would be like, "Oh my gosh, you style hair so good." Now, and I often was the one that the girls, I've always played with girls. I've always played with girls' toys. Now, being a parent, and you'd probably be shocked to hear this. So earlier on, like, my son is 4, he'll be 5 soon. Earlier, I did not mind, right? Like, oh, he can play with it. It's a toy. He knows no difference between boys and girls' toys.
Exactly.
Like, let him play with it.
Exactly.
But now, where he's coming into his personality and things that he likes, I will admit, I'm never going to say to him, like, that's a girl's toy. Why are you playing with it? That will never come out of my mouth. But it does give me like a bit of a pause when I see him play with a girl's toy. And I think that's because of the stigma. Like, even though I did play with toys, girls' toys, I remember like an uncle maybe saying, I vaguely remember him, one of them saying something like, well, that's a girl's toy. Why you want to play with that one? Or I remember, seeing other boys and their response to girls' toys. But I'll admit, it does give me a bit of a pause when I see him playing with a girl's toy.
I don't think any child should be subject to the verbal cruelty that I have heard from people that have lashed out saying, "Oh, boy shouldn't be playing with this. Oh, she's gonna be a tomboy."
Did
Let
Did you
them
play
grow
with
up.
girls' toys growing up?
I'm gonna be really truthful, honest. I did not, and one of my cousins that I'm extremely close with, she had dolls and she had all the little Barbie Corvettes and everything. They didn't intrigue me. You know what intrigued me the most of all of her toys?
What?
Was the easy bake oven, because she could bake me a cake.
Like, wait a minute, hold up. So this one you can get food out of it that you can eat? Let's play with that.
Right. I couldn't wait to get over to my cousin's house. We gonna make a cake. That was like, and no, I'm not a professional baker or anything. I do like to bake, but that was the toy that just, if she wanted me to play with her, because we both grew up as only children, so yeah, I would play with her. But she knew she had to turn over and start playing with some cars too with me. So we
Yeah.
were very, for us not to necessarily grow up in the same exact house, we shared a lot together that we would play with each other, because that's you all I have,
Yeah.
And but that's the only thing she could say. I'm not bringing out that easy bake oven when you come over. Okay, I ain't playing with you then. I'll stay downstairs with my grandmama and my mama. I ain't got to come upstairs and play with you.
That easy bake oven that could end relationships, huh? I did not know.
That. And then the chocolate one, because I think that I can't remember. You had the chocolate, the yellow cake. For some
I do
reason,
remember chocolate.
strawberry. I could be incorrect about the strawberry, but I remember that, and I was like, okay, we gonna cook the chocolate. It got to the point I had my mama buy the little boxes and stuff that you mix it in, and we would take it over there to her house. So,
okay, let's think about this. So you see a 6-year-old boy, 6-year-old black boy, and we'll have a "what would you do" moment, right? You're out in public, you see a 6-year-old black boy getting scolded, right, for playing with a Barbie doll and sing. Go. How do you handle it?
Okay. I am definitely one of them people. If there's no physical harm, I'm probably going to leave it alone. Unfortunately, what I have to say could escalate the situation even worse. And as long as they're not abusing that child, that's their child. I can't tell someone else how to raise their child. Do I agree with it? Absolutely not. Now, if it's you know me well enough, and I know we're on a podcast at this moment, but you know me, if you were to chastise your son in front of me about playing with a doll, you and I would have a conversation and be like, well, let it go. It's not that serious. But you and I have a relationship. So if it's a family member, a co-worker, somewhere in a setting, but I'm not going to be in Walmart and you see little Joaquin walking down the aisle with the doll, and then here come his daddy, Jatovius, talking about, oh, put that down, boy.
What?
I'm not,
But let me ask, so do you think there's more of a stigma around it in the black culture, or do you feel versus compared to a white family? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm around more black families than the Caucasian family, but I believe they still have that stigma in there. I also think your educational level has a lot to do with it too. I'm not trying to say that all hillbillies don't have sense, but I can see the hillbillies being more against it than a well-educated, Fifth Avenue parent, if that makes sense.
Got it.
I'm sure there's some people on Fifth Avenue that would probably turn over if they found out that their daughter is playing with, matchmake cars and stuff.
You know what? I believe that it is more of a stigma in Black families than in white families. As a matter of fact, I I had my son at the park one day, and I don't know if I've told you this, but we went to the park one day. It was his dad and me, that took him. So we're playing, and then this older couple. They were the boy. There were two boys, and the older couple. They were the grandparents. They lived between my house and the park. So the boy, my baby was about what, 2 or 3 at the time? 3. And the boy was 5. One of the boys was 5, but he carried a baby doll, little bald headed baby doll. And they were, the grandmom, she was like, well, that's not how you treat your baby doll. You have to pick it up. You have to be careful. You can't just, knock it around like that. So I didn't know if they were encouraging him to play with what he desired, or if it was something like for, I'm gonna be honest, like emotional support or something to teach him how to be more gentle. I don't know. But I know that in my Black experience, I've never seen a young boy be encouraged to tend to his baby doll. Just not gonna happen. I can't even see it if I were to go today, you know what I'm saying? I can't see it. I don't know if it's just me or what.
I think we just don't see a lot of the other nationality and how they're handling their children.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I know you live in a more mixed area than myself.
And the two little boys I mentioned, they were white. And even in my neighborhood now, I will admit, it is
Mm-hmm.
predominantly white, right? I do see the boys taking on more girl like things, and it's totally okay. And I think that it should be, because you find creativity in what you find creativity in. It doesn't
Absolutely.
necessarily have to be a gender defining thing.
And that's one of the things that I think it's like a newborn or a toddler. They don't know to use left or right, you know. But I have had parents that, make sure he's eating with his right hand, and I can remember, one of my aunts when they had their child, and a child when they're first trying to feed themselves or they're trying to pick up, they're using either hand, and my put that in his right hand, and it's like let him naturally decide which hand works best for him,
Right.
and I have an uncle who's left-handed, and he's like the struggle it was, because most of the school desks are made for right-handed kids, and
Mm-hmm.
but I said, with all of that said, I understand that you're saying that the desks